Well, hello everybody, welcome back to the channel. So I've just walked out of the local movie theater from watching Terminator Dark Fate. Now, boy, what a disappointment this movie was. It was just a really dry movie, like it just, I don't know, it just didn't hook me, the storyline just didn't hook me at all. It was just, everything about it was fairly dry, and ever since the first Terminator and the second Terminator movie are both A-plus movies. Now the whole filmmaking style and just the whole world that was created in those two movies is just A-plus and phenomenal. Anything, well, I mean, the third one was a passable third effort, I think. In a franchise, it was an all right conclusion, number 3, but they just shouldn't have kept making movies after that. And I mean, some of the 3 they've made since, maybe one of them was all right, maybe a bit okay, but Salvation wasn't very good. Genesis was all right, and now Dark Fate was just kind of exactly the same as them. It was just blah. One thing that all of the movies ever since the second one have been missing is the humor. The humor in the first one and the second one, like as much as it was a serious movie and it had serious matters and it was a sci-fi, phenomena and all of that, the humor in the movies were just, absolutely, through the roof. They were hilarious sometimes, right? But ever since the second one, the third one had it a bit, but especially ever since the second one, it's just dropped off big time, and they've just been kind of generic action movies. Like, even the action sequences in this movie were just very generic. They weren't very, I guess they was a good job and they looked cool, but the storyline was just very blah, and everything that went on with the kid, like the characters were blah too. I mean, I will say Linda Hamilton's performance coming back again and just seeing her again was great. Arnold Schwarzenegger is a good actor, of course, he did great in this again, and seeing him back again was great. But any of the other characters, the new characters invented in this one, like I said before, just blah. And again, yeah, the action, it wasn't funny, it wasn't humorous, and it wasn't even like, it wasn't even just like the classic, movie style that the originals were. It was just your generic, run around and shoot them up and jump away from an explosion and a car hits another car kind of blah stuff, right? And, another thing is, ever since like the first Terminator and the second Terminator, all of the other ones, like it's said in a lot of ways the Terminator shouldn't have really been a franchise, but it was, right? Like they should have ended it at 3. Like they shouldn't have made any of these new ones that came about. But I don't know, I just didn't find myself very intrigued with anything that was going on in this movie. I didn't find myself very, I don't know, I was just kind of waiting to get out of there the whole time it was in, believe it or not. Like, I just really didn't enjoy myself at this movie. I was kind of just, just kind of stomping my foot, like, blah, 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 like, nothing was catching on, nothing was just, and it's, like, it's sad, actually, because the first 2, especially 3, but especially the first 2, were just fucking awesome movies. They're, like, A-plus movies. They're the best, they're 2 of the best movies ever made. But any of the other ones made ever since then, like I said, they were just these stupid action movies that didn't really carry through with any, and I mean, I think maybe the only difference from the first one and the second one to all the other ones is that they were not directed by James Cameron. I mean, perhaps just the absence of James Cameron is what threw all the other ones off, other than the first and second one. But Yeah, Terminator Dark Fate, I will almost say it's almost the worst of any of the newest ones to come out, to tell you the truth. I'd almost prefer Salvation and Genesis to this one, honestly. Yeah, this was just a huge disappointment. Like I said, I was tapping my foot just waiting to get out of there the whole time in this theater. I mean, I don't know how much more to say. It was just a blah movie. Like, if you watch it, you won't laugh, you won't be rooting for anybody. None of the sequences will get your blood pumping. None of it just gives that, like rock and roll, like this is an awesome, time at the movies kind of a feeling. It's just like throwing on a quick action sequence or something on YouTube just to watch something cool for a few minutes while you frickin' eat a bowl of cereal or something. Is kind of what this movie reminded me of. And so with that said, I'm going to give Terminator Dark Fate a D+. Like I said, Schwarzenegger's performance in his return, and especially Linda Hamilton's performance in her returning, because he's returned to a whole bunch of them since then, but her especially returning was important and was cool and all of that, and so there's a plus in it for that. But other than that, I'm going to leave it off with a D+. Yeah, that's a quite heavily disappointing movie. But that's my review for Terminator Dark Fate. Thank you very much for watching, everybody.